Headphone company JLab Audio, one of the companies on that list, expects a loss of 10% in gross profits overnight. Joining us now is the JLab CEO, Cramer. Very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good morning to you. And I wish it was 10%, but now we're at 15%.
15%. So gauge for us, what portion of your products are manufactured in China, and as you say, exactly how that's going to shake down on the bottom line.
Yeah, we have 100% of our products manufactured in China. About 90% of those products are on the September 1st tariff list. So a big portion of our business is going to be impacted come this Sunday.
100% of the cost also coming from China, or is this
yeah,
small
correct. 100% of the cost coming from China.
So talk us through your best-selling headphones. How much do they cost today, and will you be passing any of this increased tariff cost to you onto the consumer?
Yeah, so we have a range of goods. All of our products in the value segment, or accessible segment that I like to call it. So we price them from $50 to $150 in the U.S. market. And we do plan on passing costs on to the U.S. consumer, but we're taking a wait-and-see approach. And we think that's the prudent approach because we're seeing changes happen via tweet. I mean, look at a week ago Friday, I woke up and found out that our cost of goods were going to rise 5%. In a week, and we had no idea that that was coming. So we think a prudent approach will be wait and see, but we're certainly going to take a hit on the profit side.
So prices might go up for the consumer in due course, but on September the 2nd, the price will be the same as August the 30th.
Yeah, it will be, at least for us. Now, some of my peers, I don't think, are as lucky. They didn't have as large of an inventory position as we did. But you're going to see the baskets of goods increase over the next 30, 60, 90 days as we get into holiday. And certainly, if your budget is $100 and you now have to spend $115, something's going to get cut from that basket.
So when obviously you sell your products at a number of retailers, including Kohl's, Best Buy, Walmart, and Home Depot, what are the conversations like between you and the retailers? Because a lot of them are telling us, look, we're having conversations with our vendors about how this is going to work, who's going to take on sort of what percentage of the cost increase. So what are they asking you to do? What are you telling them you can do?
Yeah, I think the conversations have actually been really well received by both parties, and we have good partners in the U.S. They're asking us for help, we're asking them for help, and we're trying to find ways that we can both trim costs to ensure the U.S. consumer doesn't get burdened as much. So if you think about it, all of the JLab products come with a charging cable that is 3 feet long. Can we trim that charging cable to 1 foot? We don't ruin the user or the consumer experience, but we trim a little bit of cost that we can pass on through. So we're trying to find some creative ways to make this happen, to work with our retail partners.
How does the holiday season, you think, play out differently in a tariff environment? I mean, usually a couple of weeks before Christmas, you end up with some shifts, depending on how good the demand has been, how steady the traffic has been. When you factor tariffs in, how do you think that impacts discounting in the calculations?
Yeah, I think discounting will not be as strong this year because there is a 10 to 15% tariff that manufacturers and retail partners are trying to absorb. So I don't think you're going to see the big discounts or as big a discounts over the Black Friday period as you've seen in the past. But like I said, if you had $100 to spend for holiday and now you need to spend $115 to get the same amount of goods, something is going to get trimmed, and we just don't know what it is because we've never seen this before and we don't have a playbook to follow.
Speaking of things getting trimmed, when you look at your company's business investment plans, have you had to make some changes now that we know these tariff costs are going up, investing in less, hiring fewer people?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the one thing we can control through all of this is our spend and our investment. And it's across the board, from little things like a coffee supplier. Do we need Starbucks, or can we get away with Folgers? To renegotiating with UPS, renegotiating with UPS. Everything is on the table in terms of investment and expense, including people. And we've pulled some U.S. hiring positions off the table due to tariffs. So it's certainly all on the table and all being discussed.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks very much. I appreciate the time.